What up? What up? What up?
What's up?
How you doing, Simon?
Doing good. Doing good. Happy New
Stop
Year
it.
to you.
Let's stop that music. Even though I want to keep playing it
Let's
because I
stop the
love it so
music,
much.
man. Let it play, man. Let it play.
Uh,
Let it play. Let it
play
play.
on, playa.
Good movie.
It was a
I'm.
good movie. Happy New
Oh.
Year.
Happy New Year,
Let's
2024, and I'm looking to score.
ah. How was your New Year's Eve?
Oh,
Was it a
great.
calm,
The whole
cool,
neighborhood blew up as always. So
nice?
the dog was scared.
Oh no.
That's just how it
Do they
goes,
like
man.
fireworks and whatnot? Is that what they do?
So my dog used to until 1 year, by the grace of God. We were living in an apartment, and my wife had to go walk the dog to the bathroom. Rocky is his name, and someone decided to be a drunk, not so nice person and shoot a Roman candle towards my wife and my dog. They're just lucky that I was not home, nor was my son, because that's where I went. That's where I left to go get him. So,
Mm,
so yeah, after that situation, no, he's not with fireworks. He hears any loud booms.
I don't blame
He's
them.
okay in the sense of he'll stay close, but if you go, he comes with you until the till the till the show is over. So even if we like it's cool though. Where we live, we can actually look across our bay because there's an island to the west of us, and they light up. So we just open our windows and watch watch all the
Oh,
fireworks.
nice.
But he's barking and yelling, barking and yelling. Look at that! We're under attack! You dumb humans! God, get me out of here!
Uh,
you know.
poor dog though.
How was your New Year's? Mine was still cool, but how was yours?
It was very nice. We had my family Christmas on the 30th. And
Perfect.
so New Year's Eve we had kind of uh just a day of relaxation after
Mm.
all the festivities and that. And come about 7, 8 o'clock at night, we decided we wanted to go out, get out of the house. And so
Right.
we went out for a little bit and caught a band. There was a local band playing.
That's
And we
cool.
had a nice time. Yeah, we had a nice time. Um, I have to say today, I almost canceled today, Anya, because I had such a terrible headache. I don't know what the deal was, but I was incapacitated for most of
Mm.
today. Yeah, and I only
It's all
started
that
feeling
apple
like
pie you ate over the weekend.
I oh man, I didn't even really drink that much or anything, but yeah, and come about maybe 4 o'clock, I started feeling like a human again. So maybe I
See,
just needed to rest.
I
I,
was
I don't
putting that
know.
vibe out there for you to be like, nope, Melissa, you need to heal. You got to come back to
Yeah,
the Dipito Crypto Show. We gotta talk to the people out there. Um,
we got
I have a
Boomer in the
question for
house. But
Wilbur.
on
Wilbur.
Spaces. Boomer,
Oh,
Boomer.
Boomer. Oh, we got NFT Solutions too. In the house
Hey,
as well, right?
NFT.
Yep. Yep.
Can you guys give us a thumbs up if you can hear us on Spaces? Because we got new technology here, and I want to make sure that the sound is coming through on all the places that we're streaming. We're streaming on Facebook. We're streaming on YouTube. We're streaming on your channel and Vita Broadcast Network's channel, and also on Twitter or on X. We're streaming video also there. So
You'll have to excuse my laugh. I was just like, I want to see
that,
someone do an awesome collab of people going, we're on Twitter X Spaces, Twitter Spaces Place. I just want to
yeah,
see a collab of influencers saying that because it really does mess us all up.
it is X, Twitter, blah blah. Yeah.
Exactly.
But yes, my kids got
Mm-hmm.
me for Christmas a new sound card and
Nice.
little mixer thing, and so
Nice.
it's the first time using it. I'm trying it out. We'll see.
Cool. Cool.
And But it's glad
Good
it's
stuff.
happy to be back. This is the first show of 2024.
In 2024, looking to go. And I have a question for you. I want an honest answer too. Honest
Okay.
answer. Okay.
All right.
So New Year's Eve,
Yeah.
were you looking at your phone and watching the market like I was? Because I was really thinking we'd have some type of crypto excitement on New Year's Eve. I was honestly a little disappointed. So were you one of those fellow cryptopians watching the crypto market, waiting for a big up or a big down or a shake left and a shake right?
I was not. I was not. I actually I am so calm in the things that I hold, and I'm kind of in the mentality of um I'm not trying to at this moment, although when we talk about your app in the future, I might be looking more your bot. But
Oh yeah,
I
the bot. The
right
bot's good
now
stuff.
I'm just secure in the things that I've chosen to hypothetically own, and I don't worry about it because I know that I'm not going to sell any at the moment, or I didn't
Right.
have money after Christmas to buy any, to be honest with you. So
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
like,
Yeah,
what am I
funny
going to
story
set
about
myself
that.
up for, like listening or watching all that stuff? But yeah, and actually being away from it for several days, really, with the holidays, there's a lot of stuff that went on, kind of,
Always,
that
always, always the big holidays, like
yep,
that. There's always some, either it's big news or big moves, and sometimes they're paired together, sometimes they're not. The reason why I asked you that was because for me, I've noticed that I've gravitated towards watching big moves that have typically happened Christmas Eve, Christmas Day,
oh,
in the market. And it's not that I'm worried about the price. It's it's my football.
I got you.
I'm like we're fireworks are going off. I'm looking. I check the phone. Just like any
I
other
don't blame you.
football fan out there, they look at their phone watching the score, whether at the family function, and you just see them look down and they shake their head.
Yep. No,
you
I
know,
feel you.
um,
And actually, if I
but
was going to pay attention to something during the holidays, it would be this.
yeah, yeah. I just like to see where things go if the market movers are gonna make a move, and they did the day before. They got us up to almost 46,000, and then at 4:30 in the morning Pacific time, they slapped us down a little bit and kind of came
Mm,
back. But I'm not worried about price. I just like to see where things are going because I have us seasoned fellow cryptopians. Some of us kind of get into the trying to buy the dip. We like to
yeah.
do that. It's something that we do. We don't put all our eggs in that
No
basket,
dip,
but
stop by the dip. Is that it?
yeah, yeah, yeah. Don't break your hip dying trying to buy the dip, because you will do
Yeah.
it if you go heavy. But I think it is important to get into some type of habit at looking slash being aware of the market you're in. I don't care whatever investment you are in, you have to at least know some of the sentiment, some of the things going on in the market, like some of the big alleged news that kind of came out over the holiday too, or some of the hype and what's hype, not hype, and all this other information that came out during the Christmas slash New Year's holiday. Um, Even one that kind of missed my radar was I found out today. Shout out to Crypto Sherpa. He did a video on the a new IRS rule,
Mm,
um, stating that if there is a single transaction that is $10,000 or more, then the exchange or the broker or whomever has to like give this full
for that.
detailed description of what I'm assuming is all the parties involved.
Yep.
And it's like, well, how do you do that? This is private. Like all you got is the
They,
address on
they,
the other side
they
of the
kind of
network.
they kind of do that
You know,
already, though, with like with regular banking, right? So that sounds to me like they're imposing that
They're trying, but it's hard to put that on one entity to do that, because we all know, most of us in crypto know that once we send a coin to a wallet, we don't have all that personal information on that wallet. That's kind of the privacy part.
right.
There's no name to that wallet. But anyways, I found that very interesting.
You know what's really crappy about it is, you're supposed to be innocent until proven guilty of anything, of a crime, right?
Oh
Right?
gosh, here we go.
And I'm just saying, like, guys, if I would have spent $10,000 on something, doesn't mean I'm doing something bad. And that is kind of like assuming that that we are doing something bad. And what does assuming do? Huh?
Well,
What do
apparently
they say? No, makes a what?
makes an ass out of you and me.
Like, you know what I mean?
But if you're a rule maker, you're fine.
Yeah, right. Oh yeah, let's not even real. Well, I did hear
I'm
over
not.
the holiday.
That's all
What
I'm saying.
what I did hear over the holiday is a bunch of charges that were dropped against Bankman Fried.
Huh.
That pissed me off. So, he can do all these things and have all these connections and all this stuff, and then, there's a bunch of stuff that got dropped against him. So, but yet we're going to come up with new rules to make it so that they have to infringe on our privacy. Like, really? I don't know. It's kind of BS, but
yeah, it's the same playbook that has been around for quite some time, or the same process. I'll give it the respect of the same process, but I would say that we are tired of that process. We want our privacy back. We didn't know we didn't really have it to begin with.
right.
In a lot of different ways. You start learning about these things, and you're like, wow, I actually really don't have any privacy at all.
Never gave it
Where'd
a
that
second
go?
thought before, right?
Yeah, well, and again, okay. I mean, to each their own.
Yeah.
We all have to go through that, but and what I mean by go through that, I'm saying we have to realize how much privacy we don't have, how much privacy we have given away, and just by going, oh, I don't care, just give me the thing. We're now trying to stop doing that and find a fair middle of the road. Because when you have an individual like Mr. Sam there that gets off pretty scot-free, so to speak, all is forgiven. Well, then I guess that sets precedence. So any one of us can do what he did, and then the same should just apply, right?
Yeah.
It won't, more than likely, but that's the case by case basis on those things. But that's what, and that's why see, that kind of gets down into this other side of crypto where the not your keys, not your coins, like that whole protocol per se, or good practice, for me is like I'm taking my own financial security into my own hands. If I screw up, I screw up, and that's really gonna suck for me. And it has sucked for me, actually. I've been through some things, as most of us have in this space. But I know that everybody show your hand if you screwed up in crypto. Everybody's hand should be up right now. But we've learned. We've had hard lessons, the school of hard knocks, but we've learned. And I'll tell you what, I have come out stronger. I have come out better. And I keep chipping away the stone to come to this solid, awesome stone.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a sissy stone. I'm a hard stone, man, and I'm beautiful and magnificent.
I want to give a shout out to Elizabeth C. I didn't notice she had a comment. She's saying he's a puppet. So I'm like, who were we just talking about? That's a puppet.
Old Sam. Old Sam is the.
Yes. Okay,
yeah.
You're right.
Yep. You're right. You're right, Elizabeth. Yeah, he is the puppet. the mini. But you know what? That's all that hoopla. That stuff, that type of let's call it behavior. That's everywhere. That's in every market. It is 100%. So what we have to do is we have to dip our toe into crypto, into real estate, into anything that we get into, and try to do our best to not FOMO, the fear of missing out, because that's when we make bad decisions, right? And learn what we're getting into. Because
Yeah.
typically when we're about to get into any type of investment or anything that we feel could benefit our financial situation,
Yeah.
we see that opportunity. But now we have to learn about that opportunity so we can foster that opportunity and make the best of that opportunity. And sometimes it is learning by other people's mistakes, but then you have to learn about your own mistakes along your way, and grow from it. Literally grow from it, because there are no limits to what you can do as a human being.
I concur. One thing I wanted to say is I just invited Boomer to speak in case he's interested. I wanted to say that, part of the thing that I'm so super excited about this space is, for the first time in my life, we have the opportunity to be powerful and educate ourselves, go slow, dip a toe, all this kind of stuff. We're at the beginning of a incredible transformation, and opportunities are out there that we may not have had before. Okay. And so, as somebody like myself who doesn't have a lot of money, that is that's just an incredible thing for me to be able to learn about this stuff that maybe a lot of people aren't giving it attention, but I am. And so I can research these things, make educated decisions, and buy in when it's nobody thinks it's anything at this point, or there's so much speculation, and you've
Right.
got the puppets and all these things. And so I guess that is part of the like, I feel so comfortable about it because I've been doing this for a couple of years now.
Yes.
And for those of you that are new and you're listening, you will get there too. You'll get to that point also where you've done enough research on a few projects where you feel comfortable and you just know it's exciting what the future holds, and then you just continue to learn in progress towards really being able to make some impactful changes in your life. I mean, you're talking about real estate,
Absolutely.
and that once we get, so the way I look at it right now is, I just had a friend of mine who just retired, and at a young age they invested in real estate early on, and
Smart.
that afforded them to retire. Okay.
Nice.
And so at 40, and
How
I don't have money. 40, yeah, young guy. And so I'm thinking to myself, at some point, when I get, so if some of this stuff starts taking off, I'll be able to go into those types of things, right? And so while right now I've done research, and I'll continue to research. Obviously, I'm not going to stop researching the crypto, but I'm also going to start educating myself on these other things, like you've talked about the infinite banking, and
Yeah. Oh,
the
dude, you want
insurance and the
that's
real
a
estate,
play.
right? So all of these things, while we have this
Yep.
time, we
Mhm.
can research those things. And so when this stuff comes into play, then we're going to be able to move some of our assets into those assets and really secure our future, and have it making money for us, which is
Yes.
what you want to learn how to do. And so you got to have money to make money, really. I mean, they always
You
say that, and
it does take money. It does take money to make money. Hey, Manny, what's good, brother? Long time, sir. Long time.
is that Manny Crypto? Is
That's
that what you
man. Yeah, that's Manny. Yeah, that's
Manny?
Manny.
Oh my
Yeah.
goodness. How are you, my friend? Oh, I haven't
Yes,
seen
that's
you
good.
in so long.
I know,
That's
I know.
great.
You want to talk about a positive dude at an event? That guy
Absolutely
right there, man. Always,
love
always
Manny.
smiling, always willing to give you a handshake and a hug. Love Manny.
Yep.
He's a good
Yep.
dude. So takes money to make money. I would like to touch on something that you're doing right now that honestly I didn't learn till later in my crypto journey, crypto slash investment journey, and that was uh plan your trade and trade your plan. Meaning, once you liquidate at your price, whatever that is in crypto, what are you doing after? Where does that money go? Right? Where like you're talking about, is that going to go into a real estate deal? Do I start a infinite banking concept, dividend paying whole life insurance policy, and then I'm able to borrow some of the cash value to go into real estate? These are the things you can be learning right now, because I'll tell you what, that was a problem that I know myself and others had at the end of our last bull run. We were so, we reached the mountaintop per se in our own worlds, right? In our own financial worlds. And it's like, okay, now what? I don't know.
Right.
I had ideas. Now I got more. I'm inspired. And that was the problem right there. The minute I said, I don't know, it was like, ooh, you should at least have an idea. If you haven't figured out what you want to do, then you need to find a place to park this that
Yep.
is
And it's not buying the
safe.
Lambo.
Don't do that. No way. You do that with some bird is going to drop a straight up dookie on your front hood while you're
Right?
trying to grind the gears, getting up to 60 on the freeway while the popo's right behind you. Yeah, don't do that, man. Do what everybody else does. Go to Vegas, rent it for a couple hours, get your little experience, and then send it right back. Okay. Manny says he's all good. ShakePay is a pretty unique model which allows a user to generate passive income by shaking their. Oh, that's cool. I'd be out there all day shaking my phone. Come on.
I never heard of ShakePay.
We'll have to check that out. Do you get cryptos with it?
Yeah. I don't know. ShakePay.
I like ShakePay. But that's a great idea. Passive income. That's what you need to be looking for. And learning about.
Yes, I agree.
That's something that we all have to do through our journey, and that is a very much dip a toe. You'll go to YouTube University like I did, and other platforms to listen to millionaires talk about how you become a millionaire. And the one thing I've noticed that I've really learned from them, as others, mindset.
Mm-hmm.
If you get your mindset, you make your plan, and be prepared to trade your plan your trade your plan. You're just determined. No matter what happens, you will be successful in your endeavors. It doesn't matter what the market's doing. If you decide to get out because now it's time for you to go do something else as you planned it, then go with that. Doesn't matter what's going on in the rest of the world. Stick with the plan.
That's the other thing.
I'm really glad you brought that up.
Well, and the other thing is that one thing, another thing that I've learned in this space is that we are all on different levels. And so what might be a good time for you to sell or buy something might not be the same for everyone. So
absolutely,
understand your own situation, make goals for your own situation, how much money you have to invest. If someone has only a couple $100 to invest, right? You might not want to be playing around with trying to sell and things like that. But if you've got $100,000 or something, you might be able to play around a little bit with a percentage of that money, right? So
that's true. Well, see, and that's a strategy. That's a good strategy. Yeah. Even if you have $200, if you have $200, I want to talk about that. Do you have $200 or $100,000? Take 10% of that at a maximum, and trade with it. Why the 90% of that is in that asset that you're that you're in. Okay, so maybe you 90% in Bitcoin, and then you do 10% into some other coin that you feel like learning how to trade or something like that, where you're like, hey, if I lose it or it doesn't work out, it's not a horrible hit, and now you're learning um, um, good principles to follow. Very good principles to follow.
Shout out Farmer John.
Farmer John's in the house. Manny said Nelson Nash. That's right, Nelson Nash, for the infinite banking concept. Taco Tuesday, Bitcoin buy day. Absolutely, always.
It's It's
Taco
amazing
Tuesday.
how much fiat you can get converted into digital money over a couple of years for the cost of tacos on a consistent basis, or
That's right.
as Simon's dollar cost average. Exactly. Um,
Yeah, that's the best way to do it. Create a nice little fun ritual.
but what I guess what I'm saying is, we are not all in the same spaces,
You're
or
right.
same places as the quote unquote influencers. And just remember, they don't call them influencers for nothing. So you definitely want to. I'm just saying, you know, not everybody is like the Dipper folks here at the
No,
Dipper
nope.
Show.
No
There are
sponsors, no checks.
there are many that they do have an agenda, and so you want to, when they're screaming at the rooftop about buying and selling and things like that, just don't, they are trying to push that the fear of missing out, type thing. Just don't fall for that so quickly, right?
Hmm.
Especially if you're just new and you're coming in, you only have a few $100s to play around with. And like Simon says, if you want to dip your toe into doing a little bit of trading or purchasing something, uh, then you could do that with a percentage of it. But keep your money in the solid projects and play around with a little bit. Oh, we got a lot of our buddies in the house tonight.
Yeah, they're coming out. We got the
So, Professor,
JRB. I like what you said there.
I'm
What's the
gonna show
risk
it.
of not owning at least a basket of cryptos, especially if you're dollar cost averaging at pennies? Yeah, there's the risk is huge because you miss out on that opportunity, right? You didn't take at least the risk, because it is a risk in any endeavor we do. But by not taking any risk, then you risk everything, the opportunity to grow and improve your lives. Well
So,
said.
I'm reading that as a question. What's the risk of not owning at least a basket of crypto, especially? So I don't.
The risk
I
would be if you don't own a
the risk.
basket,
Yeah, I guess if you don't own, you'll never know, right? You wouldn't.
you'll never
The
know,
risk
right?
that
Well,
you
it's,
can get, just say, and your dollars
diversify.
you going down.
Yeah,
Diversify. You
yeah.
don't
If you're
want to
not
have all your
diversified, yeah,
eggs in one
you kind of
basket,
got all
right?
your eggs in one basket there a little bit. That might not work out. But again, start off with one, learn with one, right? And literally dip your toe. I literally go to Starbucks every day, mainly so I can go talk to the people at Starbucks that are busting their humps for pennies. And I literally tell them, I ask them, did you guys buy Bitcoin today? Get
Yeah.
out the cash map. Whatever tips you guys get today, somebody use it to buy Bitcoin and then spread it with everybody else on the shift. It's not that hard. It's very
Oh,
easy. You don't
are
need
they
you don't
taking
need
you up on
45.
it? Are they taking you up on it when you go in there? Are they doing it?
Oh, but they're busy. I'm going in, dude. I go in like at the
Staple
wrong
Crew's
time.
in the
Like
house.
it is slamming busy when I go there. What up, crew? How you doing?
What's your call
What's your
on
call on
Bitcoin now,
Bitcoin?
or altcoins for small bags? That's
Mm.
a Simon
You
question.
you want a price? Is that what you're asking, crew? I'm still waiting for us to build some structure in that 32,000 to 30,000 zone, but it'll be like a wick down. I'm looking for a retest. I'm still looking for a retest. And if it was going to
What do you
happen,
think
this would be
the
the
retest?
time of year.
What do you think the
Huh?
retest is? What's the retest?
Okay, so all right. All right. So let's visualize this. Christmas 2021. we started to come out of our bear market of 2021, right? And then the early part of 2022, we went up and we floated around 20K to 25K, and we went sideways for a little bit. So I want everybody to picture in your mind a 45-degree line going up, and then it plateaus off. Okay, everybody kind of picture that. Okay, so at that plateau part, we had a price zone of 25,000 echo to 30,000. There we go. That's better. And so that 30,000 was our kind of our resistance, right? We couldn't break 30,000 for a little while. And then phase 2 of the bull run kicked into drive. We broke 30,000, and we've continued up since then without going back to our most recent high, which was that 30,000. So that's our support now. That's it. We will come down, hit it, and then I think we'll
Can I ask
take
you a
off.
question?
And
Is there a specific amount of time that you would expect to go by before it would hit that retest?
Okay, so just in a kind of cycles, and what I've learned by looking at charts on hours on end and listening to other people that are more seasoned in looking at charts and patterns, listening fundamentals, all these trading fundamentals, sediment fundamentals, people that just look at the charts and follow the charts no matter what the rumor mill is spinning out. Dang, what was your question? I totally ADD'd right there.
I guess I was just asking, like, is there a specific
time frame
that you would
time?
be
Okay, so
or that you should be.
So I'm expecting
or,
from now, or rather expecting / looking. I am looking for this type of event to happen between now and the beginning of March, because that is the end of the third quarter or the fourth quarter, and the beginning of the first quarter of our year. Okay, so in the corporate world, everything is based off taxes. Most big corporations do their financial moves on taxes. Okay, here's an example. Okay, correct me if I'm wrong. I know you know a little bit about the tax world. Capital gains. What is the typical tax on a short-term capital gains?
Oh gosh, I don't remember. All I know is, but it's more if it's a short term gain.
It's more than a short term. Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
And now I know that the long term, it's like about 20%. Okay, but the time frame, okay, that time frame is 12 months and a day. Okay, so let's go back to what I was talking about. Phase 1 of the bull run back Christmas 2021, when we started to make our way out of the bear market. Okay, so for every institution or person or very wealthy individual, or even little schmo Joe that only had $200 in the pocket and they happened to buy at the right time right then, from that point going forward, the day after Christmas, they could have sold, and then they would only have to pay 20% taxes. Okay, they could even sold at they could have sold at a loss, even if they really wanted to, if it played out. But these big dogs had that run up the market to about 44K, and then we kind of sat there for a little bit, right? And then what happened? New Year's Day came around, which means it's a whole new tax season. So now they can run it up the rest of the way, take all their profits, mitigate their tax on the back end, their tax obligation. It ain't 50% for the short term. It's 20% on the long term. And they're a company, which means what? They have all the write-offs they want for the world. MicroStrategies. Saylor. He's talked about it multiple times, even when there's been news in the past where he's had to sell Bitcoin. That's because he had to meet his obligations to the shareholders and stakeholders of that company. They have to do that. They there's all these other things in the corporate world that that I am vastly unaware of. Not as much anymore. I am a quick study, but this makes sense. So if you can apply what companies might have to do at some point in a 12-month period. And then look at taxes, what an entity or individual might have to do for taxes.
Yep.
It really kind of plays out, and really after the holidays, January, February, it's very slow for almost everything in the world, at least in our part of the world, in America. Like I'm construction. No, man, it's kind of dead. They'll start to kind of bleed in a few people, but honestly, when we start showing up to work, it's really that last week of February and March, and we are hitting the hammer hard all the way till about October, November, and then we start kind of bleeding out again. Okay.
Yeah, like that here too.
Yeah. So
I
there's
attribute that a lot to the weather also.
Yeah, there's that too. There's a lot.
and
There's a lot of variables, and when you hear some of these variables, Melissa, you're gonna be like, no, and then you see it, and you're like, yeah.
No, I do know that they do that, and I know that there's a difference between the long term. I was just looking up the long term capital gains tax on profits. It is it is the longer than a year. But the rate is 0%, 15, or 20, depending on your taxable income and filing status. So it all depends on what window you're in. And then and I don't know if they raised the capital gains rate in 2024 or not. I don't know if they did or not. I was trying to find that, but anyway,
sure
that shows not really
greedy Hanson.
It is.
So I got a correction.
Oh, sorry.
Go ahead. No. Go ahead. Go ahead. I saw a correction from the crew, but go ahead.
Okay. The other thing is that so you got the taxes to take into consideration of why things could be moving or not moving or whatever. But then also things like the one thing that I did hear about while I was not paying attention over the holidays is how close we are to the Bitcoin ETF being, right. So things like that happening also can sway the market a lot. And again, those influencers
I would be careful on that one too.
Yeah.
The reason why I'm saying be careful on the ETF, because even though it does sound good, it's probably a lot closer than it ever has been. But I remember hearing about the ETF back in 2017. You know what I mean? So it's like this is like it's almost a nothing new thing, right? Like for me, I'm like, I don't care what you guys say about the ETF. I mean, if it happens, hallelujah, thanks for getting in the game. If it doesn't, I'm not going to be shocked. But yes, those things too. Because that's a whole pile of money that could come in. But does that necessarily mean that that would move the market? And I'm going to answer that in just a second, because I would like to answer. I know I'm jumping around a little bit. Should the staple crew? No. Should we buy one or the other with a small bag? Okay. I'm going to say it depends on how educated you are in the crypto space. Okay. If you have at least played around with Bitcoin for the better part of your, what I mean, played around, that you have bought like at $1 cost average once a month, or you've gone all in and you sat on it and have paid a little bit of attention to your Bitcoin, or you've stuck at least with one coin. At that point, at least 6 months to a year, then I would actually honestly say I would be going for these altcoins personally, because the altcoins have a greater chance of a higher percentage earnings. However, it also has a higher percentage risk versus Bitcoin. Let's take an example right now. Okay, I'm going to use XRP and Bitcoin in this example. XRP it went down to 55 cents today. Okay, Bitcoin went down to like 41,000 and change. Let's keep it easy math. Let's say XRP is 50 cents and Bitcoin is 40 cents. Now let's say we're going to go and retest our all-time highs, meaning we're going to go back up to those price points. For Bitcoin, that would be, we're going to call it a fair 70,000. For XRP, that would be $3.20. Okay. So 40,000 to 70,000 is not 100% gain. It's probably about a 90% gain. I'm doing rough math here. But from 50 cents to $3.20, that's at a minimum of 50, $1, $1.50, 2, 2.50, 3. That's 6 times your money. Yeah. Actually, technically it'd be 5 because you bought in at 50. So that'd be 5 times your money. Okay. So that's where I would go, would be a small bag of some diverse coins personally. Myself. That's what I would do. But if I'm telling a brand new client, I'd be like, nope, just go get your Bitcoin. Just go get your Bitcoin. Especially if you've never been in any other market. If you've never traded stocks, if you've never been an active participant in stocks or anything like that, that's where I would have you go.
I don't know if I can find it. I wanted to get your I wanted to get your take on this.
We can watch a video.
We're gonna watch a video if I can find it. I'm looking.
Okay,
here.
you find the video and remind me what I sidestepped from. I totally just blacked out again. ADD is going on strong today, man. 2024 has got me all poop.
What you sidestepped from? I don't remember. I don't know.
Well, I guess I'll have to watch it on the replay and bring it up next time.
I'm looking.
Yeah.
I'm looking.
Great call.
Right,
thanks, brother. Knuckle bump. There you go. Not a problem.
Yeah. All right. Let's see here if I can get this.
Oh, you got it? I heard a little background noise. Let's go. I'll shut up.
Yeah, I don't know if I can. I don't know how to make it full screen. I guess it doesn't matter
if you knew.
Hold on. Let me share my screen.
This old dude in a suit that's sitting up on a stage?
Oh yeah, hold on. It's
all right, sorry. I'm sorry. Spoiler alert, everybody. Spoiler alert.
Find it. Where do I? Oh, you know what? This darn thing. I think that I have to be in. It wasn't coming up for me. No, let's see. There's
kids watching.
There. Now you can see it, right? Not yet.
Not yet. No, wait, it's loading. It's loading. Okay. Before you hit play, I watched that.
Huh? All right, here you go. Ready?
Yeah.
If you knew who was really behind Bitcoin, you would run as fast as you fucking could to sell it. I know. 100%. If you knew who owned Bitcoin or who started Bitcoin, you had Bitcoin, you couldn't sleep at night. I know. 100%. And when the real founder of Bitcoin comes out, it is my humble opinion, and there's nothing humble about me, Bitcoin will go to fucking zero.
One day.
And a microsecond, whoop, like that.
Okay.
This guy.
Who is that guy again?
Mike Penna.
Who's that guy?
Pena.
Mike Penna. Now, why? Okay. I don't know nothing about Mike. Yeah. But not a chance. See, the problem there is in his theory that even though back in the day Bitcoin was for drug dealers, Silk Road, that Bitcoin is for corrupt criminals all over the world. Let me tell you something a little bit what happens in the world that we live in. Good people start playing in it. And when good people start using it and seeing how it can benefit their lives, it totally demolishes the who started it. It's who's in it and who's making it a hell of a lot better. And I wouldn't be surprised that's from a billionaire. He looks like he's made a lot of money from an old system. You
You
know,
know what? He is actually he's such a big mouth, right? Those that
well,
that
you know,
scream the loudest type people, I always have a suspicions of them, right? But
that's
he
your
has
tactic. That's a tactic.
it is a
Yeah, that's a
tactic,
tactic.
and
Yeah.
he's been respected. There's been other things that he's said that people like, but there. Okay, let's hear it.
I didn't even have to say anything. Thank you, Farmer John. Farmer John, for all of you on Spaces, Farmer John says, "Ooh, bullshit! Fear, fear, fear is all they want." Exactly. That's where I was going to go with it. To be quite honest, that guy
Yep.
is pushing it so that nobody else buys it. Because I bet you, even though he knows who the founder is, he owns
Yeah.
some.
Well, guess what? This is what I said. I responded to it and I said, it seems to me that if this guy knows what he's talking about, and he has such concerns and fear that it's going to go to zero, then he would say something, right? He would tell people, no, he's not. He's just saying that. So yeah, Manny says, haha, big mouth. Yes, he is. Crypto professor. You go ahead and read it, Simon.
He doesn't know his ass from a hole in the ground when it comes to crypto. Amen. Amen. Manny says to tell Farmer John, he says, hey. Okay, Farmer John, you got a shout out in the chat. Manny's
we
trying
got
to hit you up, so go ahead.
We got the crew here.
Yeah.
It's so exciting.
I know we got everybody in the house tonight. It's good stuff. It's real good stuff. Okay. I want to talk about some small housekeeping stuff since it's the beginning of the year. Okay, this is important for all the newbies out there. Just real quick, if that's okay.
Yep.
Or did you want to beat the crap out of this dude you just put on the show?
No.
I don't promote violence. I'm just asking an opinion so we can express our emotions here on this show. So that way we don't resort to the physical things. We express our opinions. We leave it out there in space and we go on with our happy lives. If I ever see that guy, though,
I'm going to give you center stage. Okay.
Copy that. Center stage. Here it is. So since it's the beginning of the year, something that I was taught to do was to change your passwords. On your one wallet or your multiple wallets. If it's been a while since you've maybe turned on or updated your wallet wherever you're storing your coins, it's a good idea to do that. If you have an exchange, obviously most of us would have an account at least at one exchange. It's probably a good idea to change those passwords, verify the information on there again. If you haven't been on an exchange in a while, it's good to get yourself reacquainted with that exchange, especially in these bull markets. So that way, if you're ready to maybe lock in some profits or improve your life, you know what to do. You've already kind of refreshed yourself in doing that, and things of that nature. So once a year at least might be beneficial to you as it is to me to change your passwords. Also, something I do is I go through my private keys, make sure that some of the ink hasn't faded away over time. Make sure I know where I hid most of my private keys, things like that. Any other special protocols that I might have in place to where I might need that information. I'd like to go through and just to refresh my memory, because even as I was doing this over the New Year's holiday, there was a wallet. Actually, I switched phones. I had switched phones, but I was able to bring all that information over. But some of my wallets, I had to recover the wallet, so I had to find my private keys and do all that. And since I did one, I decided to go through all my other ones again just to make sure that everybody still matched up. I wasn't missing any pages. I knew what secret code I wrote down 3 years ago to remind myself that it's this and not that, or whatever you might do. Maybe you're trying to trick yourself so you don't give it away, or maybe maybe you're going to make it hard on your kids to learn. If they want these cryptos, they're going to have to try to figure out your treasure map. But these are good things to do. Even freshening up your pages, with your private keys or your passwords. Things get old. Metal, I've seen the metal people using stainless steel metal and doing engraving. Hey, it could be warped, or it could be starting to fade away. It might be time to freshen all that up and make a new, so you can keep on doing your cryptos. So
Great.
there you go.
Great.
That's my words of wisdom for 2024. Who's looking to score? It's time to do a little housekeeping. Check your passwords. Maybe do some backup wallets. Check for updates. Just familiarize yourself with the wallets, your exchanges, etc. Because when these bulls run, they are going to run, and you're going to want to cash in on all that. So, what's up, Cody Garcia? What's good?
Let's see, we got a couple things. JRB says, Vita, what is your goal or purpose of this channel? I wanted to answer that. So Vita Broadcast Network, our goal is to have a variety of shows on Vita Broadcast Network. So far, we have this Dipito crypto show. We have Beyond the Brink. We have another show coming on with our friend John. And what is that? It's a peace. He's talking about peace. And that'll be coming on soon. And so really our goal is to have a collection of shows, some crypto related, some, Beyond the Brink covers crypto, but also covers other things that goes on in the world. So really it's just a repository for all of the shows. And we expect those that join our network that they would also stream like to their own, like Simon is streaming this to his too. And we've created a channel just for Dipito Let's Talk Crypto, since this show seems to be popular. So we're really excited about it, and we're just at the beginning of this, and we thank everybody who is supporting us, and thank you for the question. Let's see what else we've got. Let's see. Crypto Professor says, got some of that to do myself. Also, make sure someone you trust has this info as well. This is going back to
Absolutely. Yep.
Simon's advice. You want to read Cody's?
Cody Garcia is in the house. Good evening, all. I was pleasantly calm when I woke up this morning and saw all the prices dropped. Just a small shakeout, nothing more. I look selfishly, Cody. I wish they dropped way down so I could go get some more on the cheap. I know it makes other people nervous, but I'm on the other side of this. When there's blood on the streets, I'm like, yeah, let's go get some.
Alan says, hi, Cody, from Alan and Elizabeth.
Yeah, right on. It's good stuff. Yeah, do your housekeeping. Definitely do your housekeeping. Melissa, I'm going to get you on this. Maybe not. Well, I'd love to do it this weekend if you got time, but if you don't, we're going to do it next weekend. You have to do this. Simon says you have to do this. Okay.
Simon says.
And that Simon says that's the trading bot. Okay. And I want to talk about the trade. I mean, there's a trading bot that, yes, I'm 100% affiliated with. I've been given the opportunity to be a part of the beta testing team, and now marketing and more with that. Okay. Full transparency. But the reason why I agreed to this is the original developer wanted to help people that like you talked about that only has $200. And I'm not saying only, but that's everything they have. And most of us know when we're putting everything we have and how hard it was to get that everything we have, and we put it on the line. This individual wanted to create a place to where they could maximize that over time through a bull run. And I have experienced good things. I know there's people in this chat right here that have also done this trading bot. And it's been really good. And it's really, really simple. And honestly, that's what I really love about it. Because when I got into the crypto space and I was trying to trade, and I do mean trying and
Yeah.
failing miserably, but that's okay. I learned. And also what I learned was, wait a minute, there's a computer that I can get that'll do this for me. Tell me more. So I went down that. Yeah, I know. I went down that rabbit hole. And unfortunately, as you said earlier, takes money to make money. And there was bots out there and programs out there that were a pretty penny. And you had to pick out your strategy, or you had to buy your strategy. And I didn't know what that bot strategy was, trading strategies. Like I had no idea. So it was like, well, there goes that down the road. This is like a hybrid grid strategy and a few other things, this bot, but you don't have to pick the strategy. You connect the bot to whatever exchange you would like to use. Well, whatever 3 exchanges it's with. And what's actually recommended, you put in small money, meaning, $500 would be a big money in this bot. And you let it grow. And man, it's it's done good things for some of the people that are beta tests that have put in their small money thus far. And but I want to get you in on it, because I know you'll see the value that it has for people that have $40. And let me tell you something about one of our beta testers that did $40. They're at 125% right now, and they did $40.
Wow.
Okay, now that's, what is that, $80 and some change. Most of us
Doesn't
be like,
matter.
well, man, that ain't nothing. It's like, well, it ain't nothing today, but it's double than that nothing that you started with. How about that? And you just had to get up and go to work and go to sleep and occasionally check the bot. I think this is a beautiful thing for people that are small money, that want to be in this crypto space, that see this opportunity, and they they don't know whether to go like the crew asked. Do I do Bitcoin or do I do a diverse small bag? Which one do I do?
Yeah.
And so I'm going to get you hooked up on the bot. I want you to see it and actually help me out with it as far as beta testing and some other things on that.
Yeah, I would love to. I would love to do that.
Yeah. Get your opinion on it, because I know you dig deep on it.
Digging deep. Once again, I'm like, hell yeah. If anybody wants to join us, we can send you the link. We it's very rare that we get Staple Crew people. So I don't know if you can talk to them behind the scenes here or not, or Crypto Professor or Farmer John, any of you guys really that can join. But I can. It's kind of scary to probably post it in here, but there's only a few of us in here listening anyway. I'll send it. I'll send it. And then if this is a mistake, I don't have to.
You're gonna break the machine.
We'll see what happens here. Here we go. Let's see.
There's a couple comments. I saw one. I'd like to see some content on rethinking money and our relationship to it, especially considering that cryptos can work for you. It means we need to have options we now have options for the first time in our history, and that's very true. That's very, very true.
I mean,
and
that's what I'm saying. I'm so excited about what we have right now. That I mean, we are in such a time of change, and where a lot of people are fearful of change. I'm not fearful at all. I am super, super excited about it. So let's see, we got
there was another. I have to let my little buddy outside. I'm gonna mute my mic and camera, and I'll be right back with it.
No problem. All right. And then JRB also said AI and crypto can now work while we do what improves our lives. the scary part is bridging the digital gap, or those who know how and those who are yet to know. And that is true. And as we learn, the more we learn, and my goal is to try to learn as much as I can and try to help people. I'm definitely not, I don't know everything, but I know a lot more than a lot of folks, just because I've given many hours into looking into this stuff, and then I've built such a nice network of folks that I trust, and that is something that I think you need to have. Let's see, we've got. It looks like Jay. I'm assuming this is JRB. I'm going to add you to the stage, Jay. I don't see you don't have a camera on or anything, but we'll try to see if we can hear you.
Hey,
Is
what's
your
going on?
Oh yeah,
Hey,
what's good,
how are
Jay?
you?
Hey, what's
Welcome
going
to
on?
the show.
Yeah, welcome, welcome. You guys are doing amazing work. I've been following you guys since you existed.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's so good.
Yeah, it's been pretty good stuff. I see that you guys have been doing a little bit with the Stable Crew and educating people on what crypto is and how it can transform their lives.
Yeah. What's your background, Jay? What got you
Oh
into the
yeah,
crypto space?
yeah. I got into crypto because I have never been able to afford property on my own. I'm in Canada, and so renting has always been something that I've done. And with that, obviously you earn any income, and then you immediately pay it over to your person that's taking out the mortgage. So you never earn any equity,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So as a person, especially someone that works in Canada, you don't ever get that option to earn equity. You're just constantly burning that out. So I saw crypto as a way to earn property for micro pennies, essentially. Dollar
Yes.
cost averaging in over a length of
Yep.
time gets you some equity, and that's something that just doesn't exist in the traditional finance world. So it literally revolutionized the whole space. Something that I'm
Yeah.
looking forward to in particular is how it can revolutionize fractional ownership in rental properties. Um, I've
Yes.
emailed the government and anyone who's actually listening in that anyone who pays for their rent every month should be able to earn that equity or ownership or fractional ownership within their
Hmm.
property. I mean, in a digital economy, who owns your digital identity,
Mm.
Right.
right? And
Now
all the
that's like a
algorithms that
whole
come with it.
that's a whole separate subject, but yes, I see where you're going with that. It's yours.
Yeah. So if the government suddenly owns your digital identity and can sell it off to any third party organization, right?
Absolutely.
They're going to start doing
Mm-hmm.
things that are beneficial for them economically
Mm-hmm.
over what it is for you. And we saw that
Exactly.
during the pandemic, right?
Yes, you did. Absolutely, you did.
They sold out our
So
digital
if you
identities over the pandemic or
mm-hmm.
over the vaccination records to
Mm-hmm.
pharmaceutical companies and the World Health Organization in order to own
Mm-hmm.
your digital identity just for a central
Yep.
bank digital currency. What we really need
Mm-hmm.
is a decentralized bank digital currency.
Yes.
Whoa, blows everyone's mind, right?
It does, doesn't it?
Yeah, let's just think outside the box for a second, right? Let's not just do what they say because they say. I mean, we live in this fear-based society, and we don't have to be bowing down to what they say about fear all the time. We can literally
No.
just walk outside of our jail cells now,
Yeah.
right? Right?
You're spot on with that. I'm gonna call it the illusion.
It
You're
really is.
describing the illusion.
It's a deception, and it's an illusion. It's a trap. It's all those things.
It is. It is. And back to crypto. For myself, I saw crypto was my way out. At the same time, I started getting into precious metals. Right. So I had a goal that I had a goal. I was going to take my own personal finance, health,
Right.
into my own possession, into my own control, because what was being done for me I could see the writing on the wall. It wasn't good enough. Even if I poured in my heart and soul to it, it still wouldn't be worth anything at the end of the day when I finally got to the end of the race, per se.
Well,
Right?
when you think about it, gold is just a rock. Why do we pay all that money and all those people behind the scenes to dig it up to put it in a vault underground? What? Like, come on. Are we that disillusioned now that and this is the debt-based economy that
Touche.
we base our lives on? What are we doing? It comes to a point when it's like beyond the brink. When you guys came out with that show, and you guys,
Yeah.
yeah, that was revolutionary. It really helped people understand. Sorry, I'm going off a little bit, but like I'm so
No,
passionate about
it's
this.
all
You
right.
have no idea.
Go for
I
it.
appreciate you. Thank you.
Yeah, gold is just a rock. How much gold is in space? Literally all the gold, right? And so we say this is the limited asset or finite asset, but the only finite assets we really have are those that are truly finite. In
Mhm.
code, we trust,
Mhm.
right? Right? We can
Yep.
trust but verify through those
Yep.
things. So
Yep.
trying to tell me that picks and shovels make the like let's move on to like the idea that there's gas, liquid, solids, right? There's three phases of ideas or thoughts. We can have money that
Yep.
exists in those three phases. Let's move beyond
Yep.
the third dimension, right? This is
Absolutely.
why I love this community. This community is some of the best thinkers in the world, and it really
Yes.
inspires anyone. And when you don't have censorship, I call it quirkership, in that every quirk or quirk in Canada we call
Yeah.
it quirks, right? Quirk, you're
Yeah.
a quirk.
Uh-huh.
Every quirk can
Yeah. Quirk.
exist,
Yeah.
right? And diversity is our strength, as I say. Anyway,
Absolutely.
this is really
No, I
what I
love
really
it.
wanted to share with your program and what you guys are doing and how you guys are changing the way people can think or rethink or reshape the idea that is the idea of money and how our relationship is to it. And the more we
Absolutely.
can change that for the better of humanity, where we walk by the street and we don't see someone on the street and say, "Oh, you should get a job because it wouldn't matter anyway."
Hmm.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's a
Valid.
good,
Because
that's definitely.
those people that are there now, let's just say the new people that are there now.
Well,
Well,
especially when you introduce ideas
they
like
had a
MAID
job.
or
They
medical
had a
assistance in
job,
dying, you
and
just
boom.
open your borders and have mercenaries for military. And then next thing you know, you just have an open military that comes from all over the world. And if you're not happy with your life, well, we'll just kill you from MAID. It's very
Yeah.
dangerous ground that we're on right now, and we need to look at it as humans, not just as
Mhm.
profitable bearers bonds.
Yeah.
Correct.
Well, you're making
Correct.
some good
Absolutely
points.
correct.
You're definitely
I'm making
making
some
some good
factual
points.
points beyond the narrative that we've convinced ourselves. It's about time that we've had an honest conversation as humanity.
I would agree with that. And that
Yeah,
conversation
yeah,
continues on multiple platforms now. And I do got to do shout out to Twitter for now being the new, well, a lot of the rings have come off. And I don't know about you, Jay, but myself, I constantly see Twitter space discussions going on a lot of different topics that some are need to be talked about, like venting of old stuff that, like you just mentioned, this we dig the rock out of the ground, we make it all shiny, then we put it in a vault underground,
Right?
which is great. I love that.
Exactly. Gold is
Um,
just a rock. Gold is just a rock, right? Why don't we
right.
just
Well, I
put
mean,
that value
think
of
about
all
money.
minerals
Money
on
is just
survey
it's a piece of paper that's
on
a
a
negotiable
ledger?
instrument. We're still in a bargaining system.
Yeah, but like actually, this is an old idea, a really old idea in which some older, like in ancient times, tribes used to use technology such as like the stones that they could just use in various villages, and they would know the value of all the stones across all the platforms that they would be using, right? So they could issue that value uh, at whatever the next village was because it have stones of recognition that they can keep. So this isn't an old idea; it's just a modern idea brought forward about having, like, for instance, survey all the mineral minerals that exist on the earth, and then place that on the value of the XRP ledger, for instance, because of the low cost and the liquidity that is available on such a ledger, for instance. And then you can literally revolutionize the whole idea of money. It doesn't need to be the way we have it. We don't need to have suffering. We have all the technology today to solve poverty and homelessness. It's a choice if we continue.
You're muted, Simon. Can't hear you.
God dang it. You hit the nail on the head, Jay, with the poverty and the homelessness. But I mean, but that's literally like a first step in phase 1 of that. You can eliminate that, but now you give everybody opportunities, bigger opportunities. Like with you right now, cryptos. It's giving you that opportunity to have more opportunities, right? And we have all the technology and the resources to continue to do that. Like you're giving reference to.
Exactly. So, just rewarding people for being rather than allowing people to like have to exist in a certain way. Why say that people have to serve a certain entity or organization in order to be? Why can't they just exist to exist? Myself, my own personal story and why I think this way is I was born 3 years before abortion became legal in Canada. Sensitive topic,
Okay.
I know. And also I was born of an unreported rape. And so I didn't know who my parents were. I was abandoned as a young child, obviously, blah, blah, blah. All those stories. And so literally born into poverty and into debt and enslavement within Canada. And there's no laws that protect me. At the age of 36, I discovered through DNA, 23andMe, who my biological father was. And they had more rights of protection than I did. In terms of everything, which I was surprised to find out that basically rape is legal in Canada, and there's no consequences for that in hindsight. And so, using that situation, I realized that my only hope was crypto. This is what I'm trying to get across to everyone: is that there is hope, and it's not in the governments, it's not in some savior coming to save you. It's you yourself and rising above your situation.
And finding
We
those
will.
like-minded individuals.
I would
Melissa.
like to maybe we'll have you on Beyond the Brink, Jay. He dropped off.
No, he's
maybe
still
we'll have you. Oh, he it looks like he dropped out.
Oh,
But
dang it. That was a good comment.
I would say that would be definitely a topic to have on the Beyond the Brink show, because I think you brought up a lot of really good points. And we can't do that conversation justice right now. But I think it's a very important thing to talk about, and I would love to talk with him further. So yeah, keep in touch. We'll look into doing that. I want to say hello to Alan and Elizabeth, and I apologize that I have I'm trying to figure out how to have our screen set up a little bit better here, because now I've just got 3 little screens, and that's not exactly how we want to be. I want to have it set up a little different. Then have little babies over on this side. Can you guys hear us? Let's see. Can't unmute your mic because they have to choose. Oh, they're having trouble with feedback sounds talking at once. Oh, because they're on a delay. I'm trying here. I'm going to put us back to how we were until they can so we can figure out how to make it so there's not feedback there.
Okay, I'm going to go down a few of these comments real quick. And I'm just scanning. Brad Grove, hello. How does the bot handle fees? A $1 or $2 fee and tax could eat up all the problem. Okay, so Brad, I will answer your question on the bot that I am associated with. It works on the trade or the exchange minimum. An example is on Coinbase, you have to do at least a $1 trade. Okay, so the bot does a $1.23 trade, and it sticks to that minimum as of right now in the beta test. We have explored the idea of having a multiplier, as in maybe if you're investing a lot more into this bot, say anything above $500, then you can have the multiplier. But also how this bot works, and I can go into more of it. And I think if it's all right with you, Melissa, maybe we'll do a more in depth on this bot and how it works. But basically, it also works like a teeter-totter. So if you have $100 of stable coin and you picked out 5 coins, let's say one of those coins was Bitcoin, and it was right in the spot where the bot has all the permissions, all the indicators to go and buy Bitcoin. It will buy Bitcoin, and it can do as many trades as long as it doesn't go over the value of the tether. Meaning you started with 100, you bought $50 worth of Bitcoin, and now they're level. So now Bitcoin is out of the equation for buying, and it will move on to the next coin. And then it kind of teeter-totters back and forth over time based on the value of the Bitcoin. So an example, let's say Bitcoin shot up and it was worth a little more. The whole bag that you have was worth more than the tether. Then it will sell some Bitcoin to bring that tether up. And it kind of teeter-totters back and forth. So yeah, the fees are included in that. Now your taxes, that's a whole nother thing. You'll have to pay on your small little gains. But it is short term. It could eat in on the profits, but this is a bot that is meant for you to kind of set it and forget it and let it roll for a year or two. And there's many different strategies, and we can totally go into that. But if you'd like to, if you'd like to hear more, I can put my email address in the chat for you, and we can have a more in-depth conversation if you'd be interested in coming on as a beta tester. And with that, Melissa, welcome our awesome guest. What's up?
Hello, Ellen and Elizabeth, my lovely friends. How are you?
Hey, we're doing great. Have my lovely wife with me tonight.
I love your lovely wife. Nice.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us. I appreciate you coming. We've loved to have you guys on for a while now. There's so much stuff we were to talk about, and I'm glad that you're here. Simon and I were talking the other day, and I said this is a perfect thing to talk about, and I'm probably going to get blasted. But I'm going to do it anyway. Remember, Simon, when I was talking about
I'm ready.
Bitcoin,
I've been prepping all day in the mirror for this topic.
I'm like, So one of the things that I wanted to touch on today's show is just have a conversation about Bitcoin, because there are people that say, they have different viewpoints on Bitcoin. And Simon and I were talking the other day, and I was asking him some questions that I personally have had over the years. And so I wanted to say, I wanted to ask, how is it easy for, I should say it seems like a lot of people are able to overlook the whole Satoshi created Bitcoin, and that, then just disappeared. And so this person's just, out of the kindness of their heart, they created this Bitcoin, this wonderful new technology, and then they've disappeared, and they rode off into the sunset, and everybody is just like, nobody wants to talk about that part of it. And then you have, I follow a lot of XRP people, and there's several of those folks that say they even come across a video where this I don't know, some law enforcement person said that they knew who the 4 Satoshis were or are, and I guess then, and then the other part of it, my last piece is for anything to be in the financial world where we're talking about Bitcoin ETFs and that and those sort of thing, they have a fiduciary responsibility to know where this technology came from. And so I guess I see a lot of people kind of glaze or gloss over and look past those things. And I just wanted your take on that. And both Simon and Alan, because I have people asking me that. And since I have those questions myself, I would like to know what you guys think about that.
Melissa,
I rest my question. Yes, ma'am.
I just want to say we did not volunteer for a 3-hour show to answer that question.
Oh. Amen, sister.
That could be at least an hour-long answer.
I'm
from
just
this guy.
joking. Alan would love to sit here for 3 hours and answer that question.
Do you want to go with that one first, Simon, or what do you want?
No. You take it away. You take it away. I'll back clean up.
I mean, honestly, I could go on for days on this because it's really one of those things I get a lot. As everybody knows, like Simon answered my question earlier tonight, it's really hard if you don't have a lot of money. Do you buy Bitcoin or do you buy an altcoin? And let's face facts, altcoin, if you don't have a lot of money today, is probably a better investment. But to answer, so most of the people that watch my channel and your channel are people that aren't really top of the income, so it's probably the best bet for them to stay with what they love. But let me just get into what they could be possibly missing and why it is such a sound investment because of the question you asked. If there was, I've heard the video, I saw the video of supposedly Homeland Security, and they interviewed the 4 people. They didn't show their face, and these 4 people, and like nobody's ever doctored a video before, maybe, okay. So let's say those 4 people are Satoshi, okay? I like to answer it like this. Do you know who invented the wheel? Oil? Electricity? Well, kind of we do in electricity. But the point of the matter is, does it really matter? No, I use the wheel every day. It doesn't really matter that much. It's the code that matters, the security of the code, and the decentralization of it. Now, let me get into why I don't think Homeland Security created it. They could have. They could have. Let me get into why I don't think it matters who invented it. I talked about this in my show today, actually, but if you simply look at what Russia is doing today, and they're creating the world's largest mining facility, okay? The Russians are very smart people, technologically, all the way around the board. They put lunars into, Venus, for God's sakes. They should be able to crack or figure out who Satoshi is, or figure out how to crack the code, or how to create more Bitcoin, or how to do all of these things. But instead, their finance minister has decided that they should spend billions of dollars creating a mining facility to compete with the possession of Bitcoin. Now, why would they do that if it were a hoax, scam, has a back door? They built in these 4 guys in this room, built this back door, and this Satoshi guy has got these million coins, and he's going to hand them out to, I don't know, his buddies in Wall Street. Maybe, but we still have the other 20 million coins, even if he has 1 million coins, right? So my point is that the technology of the code and the security of the amount of power that it takes to create Bitcoin has made it so significant that the nations of the world now, see, this is happening 4 years quicker than I expected. I expected 4 years from now, the next bull run would be run by governments. But now, if you simply look at the hash rate is like going up 15% every 2 weeks. That's because governments, institutions, and mega money is trying to mine it instead of trying to hack it because they know they can't. Just my guess. That's my angle.
And
Does
let
that
me
make
ask one
sense?
other, it does make sense. One other question that concern that I brought up to Simon the other day was also the fact of, you have micro strategy, macro strategy, owning quite a large portion of Bitcoin. There isn't that much Bitcoin. And the fact of the miners and the electricity that cost, the cost of the equipment to mine, the cost of the electricity to mine, where, originally it being very decentralized, do you see that like the possibility that it's getting smaller and smaller for people to actually be able to mine it? Like the main big miners are the people that have this money, right? That have the money to buy the equipment and the money to run the equipment to mine it. And so then there's just another concern that gets brought up to me that I'm not super educated enough to answer. And, and it is a question that I've had myself. So what do you say to that?
Well, yeah, but like I would say if it were happening in all in one country and all one government, then I'd say maybe they could possibly find 51%, but I don't even think that's possible today. I really don't. In particular, there's not enough coins out there, and there's not enough the ASICs machines that they use in the 19s to mine them. There's just not enough chips out there, and all of them are being soaked up. NVIDIA's just gone crazy because of these, and they can't produce them fast enough. And I was just listening to Elon Musk the other day. He was talking about America, or the world, doesn't have a big problem in any area except for three. And he said population, chips, and electricity.
Mm-hmm.
He said, we don't have an electricity problem. We have a chips problem. Mm-hmm. All this AI is going to soak up all these chips. And a lot of these chips are going to all these mining companies, right?
Yeah.
So if you have so many countries trying to compete for all the same amount of chips, that brings exactly what we are: decentralization. It's not one conglomerate, one company, one group having all the miners. So everybody competing, I think, is a very good thing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I think it does. I think, and just like Elizabeth said, we can't spend 3 hours on it because I'll just keep having question after question.
Well, Simon and Alan could spend 3 hours on it,
Easily.
like on a Tuesday.
I'm so biting my tongue right now. I'm using every
Simon's
fiber in my
thought.
body just to hold back and go, just let it roll, bro. Just let it roll.
I want to
Just
hear
let
what
it roll.
Simon thinks about either what my answer was, or what he thinks is why, or who Satoshi or whatever.
Okay, so I am personally, I'm of the camp of I kind of alluded this to before, whether it was created by a bad person, a bad team for bad intentions, and is now becoming the possession of the good people, the good teams of this world. Okay, and we all are going to use it for different means. And when we all take one thing that is finite and we use it to better our communities and our world, in effect, I'm using it for my purpose and my purpose alone, which is decentralization at its core. Okay, my Alan says this all the time. My show, my opinion. Right?
Yep.
That's 100% how it works.
Wrong or right?
I do the government aspect to it. Okay, let's go down this rabbit hole a little bit on the government side. Okay, most of us know that the code is written in SHA. SHA was allegedly, according to all the documents out there, was created by the United States military. Okay, now created, got the start. We don't know where it went from there and who all was in part of it and etc. Right? You look at all of Bitcoin. This is with Bitcoin. There's cryptography. Cryptography has been around forever. SHA, the code, has been around forever. The framework that's there has been around forever. It is a culmination of the technologies that were already in existence and brought together. Now, the who or the how many for me, it's irrelevant. I am getting stuck on an issue that could block my opportunities to not only improve my life, but the lives of my community and anybody that I meet. Like, so it's almost like recognizing that's a fear component. Okay. And
Yeah.
when people ask that question, they are concerned. And I asked that same question to my brother, who is no longer with us anymore. But before he left, he gave me one thing, and that was Bitcoin. And he got in Bitcoin March 2009. That's when he got in. And he told me about it. Right. And I was like, well, great. That actually sounds cool. It's like internet money. Yeah, I can see internet money going far. Oh my gosh, this is great. Who created it? I don't know. Where's it come from? I don't know.
Yeah.
Keep in mind he's 19. I'm like, okay, dude, I'm not gonna jump your stuff. But we're gonna need to know some of those things, man. You're giving people money,
Yeah.
you don't know where it comes from. Like we're gonna need to know that part, at least a little bit. Anyways, I've shared that personal story with lots of people, but my point there was when he told me it was Satoshi Nakamoto, I did the Big Brother thing because at this time in our history, allegedly personal computers were being hacked, and those hacks were coming from China. Now, I wasn't really good with my Asian descending last names. Okay, I was like, that sounds Japanese or Chinese, man. I'm like, so how'd you get the Bitcoin? And he goes, I used my debit card. I was like, oh, you what? You gave them your account number? Oh my God. I freaked out. Totally freaked out. Right. All right. Okay. So, but this is a fear space, right? But I rewound. I said, okay, dude, here, check it out. I don't think you're in trouble. Just watch your bank account. If you see anything nefarious, call the bank. Put a stop on it, and we'll back out of it, or you'll back out of it, or whatever, right?
That's right.
Well, it was a couple. I gave him the fear, though. Okay, and this is kind of my point, the fear part.
Yeah,
Right.
I gave him the fear. It had his total portfolio had dropped $7 within 2 days after me going, holy crap. He pulled out, never got back into Bitcoin again, and then he left this world. But yeah, he lost $7. I was like, I'm like, you sold because of $7? He's like, dude, that's like date night money. I was like, oh, that's the point. I mean, that's your ticket to the movie and a couple cheeseburgers from Wendy's at the time in 2009.
It was probably 100 coins.
I don't know, because it was still fractions of a penny. It wasn't a penny yet.
My kid,
yeah.
One of my boys came home and told me about this internet money. Mom, I want to buy. I'm pretty sure they called it Bitcoin. I want to buy this, and I said, "Hell no, you're not buying that. You don't know what that is." And I just dismissed them and told them no. And they were telling me their friends were actually. They bought like something with it, like they were sharing it with each other. But I wouldn't let him do it. And of course, he was young. He didn't have his own bank card or anything like that, and he wanted to. And boy, guess who feels like a big old dummy now for not listening? So it's one of those things where sometimes we think we know so much because we're older, and the youngers, they're researching these things, and they're discovering things, and they're a little bit they're less fearful. And you're right, Simon. We're the ones that are kind of pushing the fear on them, or I was. You don't know.
In that situation, back to
I mean,
what Alan's comments.
$20 on it, big deal at the time, right? But
Well,
I had to say no, put my foot down.
Exactly,
But-
because you
but-
didn't know.
But if you look
For the-
at your comment was their fiduciary duty, right? Well, here in about a week, their fiduciary duty is going to be to buy a bunch of it, because there is no other asset that has done what it's done the last decade, ever. There's no investment that's done what Bitcoin has done. So their new fiduciary duty, everybody keeps talking, oh yeah, well, they're going to allocate 1 or 2%. Well, I'll tell you what, if Bitcoin goes up 10x in the next 5 years and they only have 1% of their allocation in Bitcoin, they fiduciary duty was lacking horribly, because what was the other 99% in? This is the
Right.
question nobody's asking themselves.
Good point. Very good
What,
point.
okay, what did you buy, Wall Street? Okay, Apple. All right, well, maybe you wouldn't get fired for that. But there's not a lot of investments out there that can say what Bitcoin has done recently. And now they're going to put a legal stamp on it globally, which Hong Kong has already done. Many other people have already done. Your fiduciary duty is to have a little bit bigger allocation than 1 or 2%. That's my opinion.
Mhm.
There's one other thing that happened yesterday that I was going to talk about on my show and I forgot about. This is so big that a lot of people don't understand this one. Okay. The numbers came out for what they're going to charge for this ETF. I don't know if you guys caught that.
Is this the
No, I
seed
didn't.
money?
Yeah, no, this is what they're going to charge for a ETF spread.
Right. Okay.
So
Okay.
they're-
Oh, okay. Okay.
they're
Okay.
commission.
Okay.
Okay. So GLD is 0.40. Okay. That's GLD ETF contract, a broker
Okay.
fee, house fee. Okay.
Okay.
So Grayscale came out and said, we're going to go 0.39.
Interesting.
To start off, it's going to be cheaper to buy Bitcoin and ETF than gold ETF.
Hmm.
Mhm.
Day one. Now, if you look at what's his name, he already said, oh, the first 6 months, we're not even going to charge a commission. You can buy as much as you want without commission. Who is he? Galaxy, right?
Mm.
Okay, so
Yes.
BlackRock now is going to, they're under the gun. What number are you guys going to charge? So now starts the bidding war, the competition.
Mhm.
And let's just think about this now, guys. You can actually buy Bitcoin in a week or two cheaper than you can buy a gold contract. So how many people are going to buy gold contracts going forward?
Not me.
Not me.
Hard-
personally.
It's hard to say, though. I mean,
I don't.
with
I don't do
me
that
doing it,
now.
we wouldn't do it, but
But-
there's a lot of people that do, and so getting the education out there for people. Although when I first started learning about this whole fund and them talking about all of the folks that sell those are sharpening up their their skills on and getting ready to sell. And so you're probably right that a lot of people are going to start buying it because they're going to be swarmed with it when the green light says go, boom, they're all going to be ready for it. And that's what I think that so many things take time, but educating the salespeople and understanding the asset that they're selling, right? They have to be able to convince you or I to buy it also. So I think that's what's been being done in this background here. And then once it gets the green light, you're probably right. And then also I hadn't thought about the competition on the pricing in terms of the fees, and the more that come into it, and all they got to do is just a little bit by little bit make it less. And I mean, who knows what it'll end up being, the fee, if more people are approved to.
I think I didn't mean to say that people aren't going to buy gold. They're not going to buy gold contracts.
Contracts.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because
No. Yeah.
gold
No.
people are gonna
Contracts.
buy-
Yeah.
Yeah, they're going to buy
Yeah.
real gold, as we know.
Right.
Most
Right,
of those
yeah.
people.
Who are those?
Yeah.
Who are they?
Oh, your prepper community, your baby boomers, your people that really believe in holding possession. If you don't own it, if you don't hold it, you don't own it.
Not see?
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah. So there's a
Not
lot
your
of people.
keys, not your crypto.
Not your keys, not your crypto.
Right?
That's it.
It's true.
Yeah.
Right.
So,
You can send me all your gold bars.
but what I meant by that is the institutions don't think like that. Small time guys or backyard guys do. They think physical
Yeah.
possession. But when you're talking about brokerage houses and thousands of brokers, and they're getting on the phone and calling their clientele, hey, how much of this allocation do you want? They're talking to people that buy paper.
Yeah.
They buy
Yeah.
paper.
And the paper part though, Alan, the contract. Okay. This is very, very important big highlight here. That the contract is a different sandbox, if you will. Okay. If you have if some of you out there have a Vanguard account, right? Or your company has an account with Vanguard, and that's how some of your retirement funds done, right? Okay. So the only way that you're going to be able to get through your Vanguard account, it's a fund account. And the only way you're going to get that is through this ETF, because Vanguards can't do physical, right? They already have rules, regulations, and parameters that they have to stay within. Okay. So there's a lot of money that would love to probably come and do that, but it's tied up under this contract. So now you have to get the contract to do business with the other contract. But the individual, the backyard Joe Schmo that you're giving reference to, Alan, yes, is very much physical, because we are not in a position we don't have a contract ourselves to be in that sandbox, to be in that place, right? We're just the contributor to our 401k, and we've given permission to a brokerage house and so on and so forth to do that for us on our behalf. They're the ones that have the paper-to-paper agreements.
But you can contact, let's say you're a union member. You can contact your financial representation through the union and say, hey, I want to buy more of this Bitcoin.
Oh, yeah.
Now it's legal in my 401k.
Yes. Now, and the pensions.
And some 401ks, you actually have control over what it's categorized. You don't get every ETF there is available, but you can have different categories. Oh, I want more allocation to, precious metals or this or that.
The problem is like my we go through Securium, which is now turning over to Standard. The Standard is taken over Securian.
That's who I got. Standard.
Yeah, but our plan is only they pick the investments that we can choose from, right? Once a year, they can change which investments that you do. So even if if I'm looking forward to the money that's trapped in my 401k, hopefully being able to participate in putting some money into a Bitcoin ETF, but that's only going to be if the folks at the Standard and our board elects for those to be part of our choice, right? And that can only happen once a year, and so, but I personally would just buy Bitcoin directly at this point for us, because we know more. But I think this is an incredible opportunity for those like myself that have a bunch of money sitting in a 401k that I can't touch. I cannot, unless I leave my job, I can't touch that money. Which is like, it's really makes me mad, but it is the way it is.
Even if you pay a penalty?
Even if I pay a penalty, the only thing I've been able to do, and I've done, this is not financial advice to anybody, but I did borrow some money from my 401k because it's the only way that I could get it out. And then I'm paying myself back, right? But then I was able to put some money into the assets that I wanted. And if I could do it again, I would do it again, but I gotta pay the first thing off first. But and there are some 401k plans depending on what their terms are. But most of them do not allow you to take out unless you are retirement age already or you're military. There's specific rules. We don't allow hardships, so I couldn't even say hardship or anything like that. So, which just, I don't know. It's frustrating. It is what it is, and I just had to let it go. But if anybody is dealing with that, that is the workaround. Borrow. But although since they raised the interest rates, now it's a higher interest rate. I saw some people taking loans from it recently, and their interest rate was like 9%, when mine was like 3%. you know,
Yeah,
anyway,
that's called propping up Wall Street. You know,
right?
that's what that all that whole thing really is. Yeah.
Whoa,
By the
easy,
way,
Alan. We
it's
can't
true.
have this be a 5-hour show.
That's right. Your IRA as well is going to be, you're going to be able to allocate that to Bitcoin too. Nobody's talking about that, but that's next.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, there's a whole nother plan, and Manny just brought it to the attention in the comments down there. Infinite banking is the way to go. Infinite banking. You know, I know someone right here, Elizabeth. Why don't you just share a little something about the infinite banking? What's got you excited on this?
All I think about is infinite banking now. I think about it more than I think about the fact that I could have had 2,500 Bitcoin here today. But I love the infinite banking scheme or whatever it is. I'm so
It's a
devastated.
plan and it's a contract.
I missed my call with Vance yesterday and I'm just heartbroken. But once you told me about it, I'm slow. So once you told me, I'm like, I don't get this. Like I have to pay for this premium to pay a big lump sum and then I'm paying and once I realized that really it's a compounding of sorts.
Yes,
And
absolutely.
the fact is that you will have a plan to pay everything back. And if you treat every dollar as precious, not go completely, don't become a monk or whatever, but think about that $5 that you put into Starbucks and think about this and think about that and think about the car that you bought from the dealership and think about all that money that's going to the bank, to the car dealership, which is going to the bank, etc., can go to you with a little bit of sacrifice and discipline, which is totally up my angle. I'm very, disciplined, buy my teeny little bit of Bitcoin every week. For shame, don't let the XR people know. But anyway, it's just perfect for me.
Plenty of XR.
It's perfect for me because I can just whatever I wanted, whatever Vance has in store. I don't know. He says I'm not going to like what he's got.
You can contribute as much as the contract will allow you, right?
But remember what we talked about too. You said he'd probably start at the smallest debt that I have, and then you.
For you, right?
And
for you, Velocity Banking through this policy, yes.
You'll go. Then I'll pay the 5,000 one, and that 5,001 will become like a 10,000 policy. From that 10,000 policy, that can pay the next bigger debt.
Yes.
And instead of paying I was going to say, I'm going to get my 1 Bitcoin when it's at 100,000 or whatever, pie in the sky, and I'll pay the mortgage. Vance would fall over. He'd drop dead if he heard me saying that, right?
Anybody in infinite banking would fall over and be like, that was stupid.
No,
that would be
stupid. I can maybe take the Bitcoin, but I'm going to give it back to me in whatever fashion.
Absolutely.
To pay the student loan people back or the SBA loan that they give me during COVID. But it's only $166 a month payment for 30 years for 30,000.
Exactly.
And something else I learned about infinite banking, and I learned this, and Alan said, you're paying interest. And I'm like, but no, I should be paying off my principal too. My principal should be going down. No. You pay the principal on that loan, the interest up front for 20 years.
Yeah.
You're giving them interest. I really didn't know that. I'm a lawyer. I'm not a banker. I don't know bonds. I don't understand all this stuff that you talk about from day to day, but I do understand like a balance sheet. And so when I thought about that, I thought, wow. And then we have a friend, he thinks, he's doing the best he can and he's getting those low interest rates. So that's the suck, the other suck you in. The banks love that because it's a repeat customer, the low interest rate, right? I got my car and it's 5%, or no, house is better, right? So you buy your house at 5%, and then in a few years, we're going to refinance your house, right, at 2%. You are getting hosed by doing that. He talked about that. He makes you listen to the show, and he says, you listen to the show and you understand that interest rates are bullshit for you. Oh, I
It's a
did it.
family show.
Sorry, Melissa.
I know. No, it's fine.
I was already banned. I'm already banned from Alan's show because of the potty mouth. Okay.
We'll
Sorry.
edit that out.
Where are you too?
Oh, wait, it's live.
Okay.
No big whoop.
But interest rates, watch it. It's a scam for you. It's a scam for the unwary. The 0% car. Okay, that's
Yeah.
not bad, but you could be giving your $500 a month to you instead of to them. I learned that was very powerful. The interest rate
Yeah.
thing, I did not know, because I started paying this SBA thing. I'm like, oh, I'll just keep the 166. I mean,
No
I
big
can
deal.
do that, whatever. But all I'm doing is 166 interest for probably 20 years.
Yeah,
On
add
this-
that up.
Yeah.
They love it. The student loan thing as well.
Just double the payment every month.
You don't,
Yeah.
Vance would
Yeah.
never say to do that. He would never say to do that. He would say,
No.
pay them off in 15, but pay you. You come up
Yeah.
with
Yeah.
30 grand.
No, that's
you
right.
pay you.
Yeah.
15
Yep.
years. And he also explains about the 15-year versus the 30-year mortgage. I'm telling you, I sucked up the Kool-Aid on the infinite banking. I am all freaking in.
So one of the perks about infinite banking is much like what Melissa was talking about, your 401k. Okay, one of the benefits with some 401ks and not all is you can borrow against your 401k policy or fund, right? And you can use that loan to do whatever you need to be doing. Okay, but there is a crap ton of restrictions with that. With the infinite banking concept and a specific policy contract that's dividend paying, you pay into the policy, and for an example, 40% goes to the death benefit side, meaning if you kick the bucket, family gets a fat check of $500,000, whatever your death benefit policy is. But on the other side, there's another side of this. 60% of every dollar that goes in, 60 cents, goes to the cash value side, which is immediately available to be borrowed against. Now, let's bring it around to crypto just real quick. So you have 60% chilling in this safe place. You're staking your money. It's earning interest.
Yeah. Yep.
It's getting rewards. It's getting dividends, right? And then what you do is you go, hey, I'd like to borrow $10,000 from that. Like, okay, cool. Well, the only thing you've done here is you've given the staking pool the right to liquidate $10,000 worth of your coins if you don't make your obligations. I know I froze there. It looks like that's cool. I'm still playing ball. And
Still painful.
instead of, I know, look at the slow mo, but you get to choose the terms of the loan. Basically, you can set your payments. It could be 10 years, it could be 100 years, whatever you want. You're paying your bank back. That's not US Bank. That's not Bank of America. That is Simon Says Crypto First International Bank for life. I'm paying my bank back. My bank gets its principal back, but wait, there's more. That portion that I'm borrowing against, it's still making money while it sits there. I only gave them the right to claim a portion of that if I don't meet my obligations and pay the loan back or I die, right?
Yeah.
That's still earning interest. That's still earning dividends. And I'll tell you what's still going to be happening. I'm still going to be contributing to that fund like I was before, plus paying back the loan.
On top of the
payment. On top of the payment. It is a beautiful thing. I get this thing going very, very soon. I'm totally going to borrow and I'm totally getting crypto. I already have a plan, you know,
Yeah.
because there's no credit check. There's no bill collector calling you, hey,
You're
we're
the
going to
bank.
call in your loan and da 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 da, right? No, you're the
No.
bank owner in this situation.
You're the
You
debtor
own that
and the
contract. And
Yeah.
absolutely, you are the debtor and you are the creditor.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we're like at 9:00.
Oh, shoot.
I know. I want to have a
It's
show
all right.
on this, an entire show devoted to this infinite banking, because
Cool.
I think I would love for people to learn more about it, and even like what us poor folk, how much money realistically do we need? What I would love is for anyone who's listening to the show or listening to the playback, put together some questions that you'd like answered, and so we could put together a good show for you and answer all of your questions. Yeah, Cody says, please do have a dedicated show to this.
Let's bring
so
on
I-
Manny as well. Manny,
Where's Manny?
he's already doing the infinite banking concept.
Is that the one?
Yeah.
And the thing is, you will also not make the interest on the money you pull out.
All of it. It's just you're paying yourself. You're the three trifecta. What Simon was trying to explain to me when he first explained it. Like you're the trifecta of everything. You're just paying yourself or whatever. I think they have a catchy phrase for it.
I will say this. So it's not
Be your own
exactly the
bank.
same. It's not exactly the same as borrowing from your own 401k, but similar to because the interest that I pay
The
is
practice.
It
Yeah,
is. I mean,
The practice.
with my hands being tied, right? When I'm paying the interest is going. I'm paying myself the interest.
Right.
So that is a good thing. But I don't. My choices are limited. So obviously,
That's
the
it.
infinite banking is way better. I'm seeing a similarity in concept here, and it's interesting that they always tell you don't borrow from your savings, right? Don't borrow from your 401k, but yet they have no problem telling you to get these crazy loans, and even like you're saying, Elizabeth, 2%, 5%, whatever. That's still a shit ton of money, and I did say shit. It's a shit ton of money that that you're paying to someone else and not yourself. And so the more that we can get away from that, the better.
Let me
but I would
just say
love-
I kept trying to put the link in. Someone asked for the link. So it's private banking strategies. The link is not posting. I think YouTube's. I said the bad word. It's private banking strategies. If you search Spotify, you'll find it. He's got a whole series of shows. Simon's the one that told me about the shows. I listened to Simon. I listened to the shows. I got the book. Get the book. The book, Be Your Own Bank.
Yeah. Nelson, you can listen to the Nelson Nash book on Audibles, Becoming Your Own Banker. By the way, us fellow Cryptopians, we're all about becoming our own bank. Like that's a core principle.
I just put
Yes, you got it. You got it, Melissa.
right.
That's it. So
guys.
It just to add to tonight's conversation, if you buy an ETF with Fidelity, you can do the same thing, by the way. So you can buy Bitcoin under the umbrella of Fidelity, and you can borrow against your Bitcoin if you pay it back within 5 years without penalty.
When is that available?
Hello. Well, the ETF isn't out yet.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, that'll be within probably 6 months to a year. They'll be doing that.
See, that's just opportunity.
It's pretty.
You're like Colonel Sanders with that.
Yeah, I am so excited in my world. I'm so excited. Like, I'm so happy to be alive right now. To be in the space that I am. I really am.
Vance he researches all the available companies for you that will take you. And also, if you're just insure your nephew who's 20 years old. No? I think so.
Yeah,
Well, we're going to
something like
they're going to dedicate a show to this. So let's.
Yeah.
I want to say, you have any let's do final thoughts, and
Final
then
thoughts.
schedule-
First of the year, you
schedule
guys
that.
make sure you check your passwords and change your passwords. It's a good time to do it first of the year, right? Also check wherever you wrote down your seed phrases and all that. Just double check it. Make sure it's still there. Make sure it's still legible. And maybe you can go through a couple wallets to verify those are still the seed phrases. That's all my final thoughts on that.
All right. What
Great.
about
Yeah.
what about you, Alan and Elizabeth? Any final thoughts?
Elizabeth, final thoughts?
Final thoughts on
The show,
the show,
the year.
the year?
Evidently not.
Carnivore diet.
What do you have?
I saw a nice rainbow on the way home. It was a double rainbow.
Oh, double
Fantastic.
rainbow. You're on the right path.
Double it's a
Is that what that
sign.
means? I'm on the right path.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
Infinite banking. God bless you, Simon. I'm
I'm
not there yet, but we'll see.
The beautiful thing is that Simon told her this stuff, and that means she'll research it. And
She'll
we all
listen
know-
to Simon.
Well, that's right, because Simon is the man. My final thoughts.
He recommended the book. So
Yeah.
if you recommend a book to me and I read it and then it resonates, then I'm good.
Love
I'm
it.
sold.
She's all those books are poker books mostly, but we won't get into that. My
Not
final
bad.
thoughts are we're about to go into a really tumultuous, however that goes.
Tumultuous.
Yes, one of those years. But I think it's going to be a glorious year, and we're all going to have a lot of fun. Just don't get caught up too much in what happened today. Like Simon was saying, he was laughing about the 10% drop. If it drops 10%, buy more or
Yeah.
walk out and walk
Just
the
like-
dog. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just like Cody said, don't trip, buy the dip.
That's
Not a
it.
deal.
And
I like it.
and we're going to get a lot of those this year. It's not going to be
Yeah.
straight up and to the right.
Nope.
That's not how charts work. Charts are more like it's like inhale, exhale on the way up.
Yes.
It's
Yep.
it's a natural flow of everything in life, and just get used to it instead of focusing on the dips. Instead of, oh man, it went way up today, I made more money. No, you didn't, because you're not going to sell it right now.
But
You didn't make
also
any money.
remember those wicks. Like Simon and I talked about this the other day. Whatever you use, a bar, a candle, those big ones, pretend they don't exist. Just take them out
That's
of the
right.
chart. Take them out of the chart. It's an anomalous event. And look at the other bars and see what you have. And don't get all exuberant on something happened, some announcement, some whatever, and it went zoop and then it went down.
That's right.
It's just it's a momentary thing that you shouldn't place too much permanency on.
Yeah.
My show
Absolutely.
today was
Context.
about people didn't. I woke up this morning, everybody in crypto were panicking about the fact that it dropped 10%. Stock market crashed. Everything crashed. The stock market lost like $3 trillion, I think, this week. It's like inequity. But like everybody was panicked about Bitcoin or crypto, and I was laughing, going, well, the bond market collapsed 3 days ago, and this is an aftershock. That's all it was. Yeah. It's not.
Not a big
okay.
deal.
Yeah. It's not.
Everything is going to be fine. Everything is working itself out. And as we progress over time, things will get more and more stable, in my opinion.
yeah.
You
Absolutely.
have to be patient, and if you know what you hold, you could be calm, cool, and collected, right? I mean,
Absolutely.
that's how I look at it.
Sleep
But
well.
Perfect.
I just want to tell everybody, thank you
Yeah.
so
Thank
much
you.
for coming to the show and supporting us, to be part of it. Alan and Elizabeth, thank you so much. Jay, I want to say thank you for coming. Farmer John, Manny, Crypto Professor, all of you, Renita stopping by. I mean, it really means a lot to us that you guys are supporting us. I know people can't be here every time, but boy, it sure does make me feel great and special. And again, you too, Simon, thank you so much. I'm loving doing
Always
this.
a pleasure.
This is our first
dip a
Dip a
toe.
Toe in 2024. And
Dip it
so
toe, win
we're
25.
going to schedule the Infinite Banking show, and our next show will be. Are we going to do? Are we sticking
I
with
think we're
every 2
trying.
weeks, or we're going to do every week?
I think we're trying to do every
Okay,
week at this
okay.
point.
All right. So
You
next
mentioned
Wednesday.
you said next Wednesday, possibly unconfirmed. Mr. Man, correct?
Oh yes, that's a little
Okay.
secret.
Possibly.
Simon.
We still have to work out those details, but it's a
Yes.
possibility. But yeah, we'll be
Oh,
doing
we
it next
do.
Wednesday. And if we don't, we're going to talk about that map. The
Yes, we
follow the
are.
money crypto map. We're going to touch a little
Citizen
bit
of the
on that.
Maybe we could even get Citizen of the Future to come on the show with us. I bet
Oh,
we
that would
could.
be epically awesome. That would be awesome. I'll reach out.
Anyway, well, we did go 10 minutes over, but we love you. I gotta play the outro, and
Cool.
so here we are. For those who like our